Good Wednesday morning. It looks like it's a beautiful day today here in the Midwest. It looks like it's going to be about 76 degrees for the high. For the 20th of October, that's pretty nice. I remember I had a Westwood meetup last year around this time, and it was cool. It was a little frigid. So October can be very, very different depending upon the year where I live. But it's beautiful today. Had a wonderful October. And for the next week, the extended for a hawk sitting there in the ditch. For the next week, it looks to be pretty good. Unseasonable. So I'm happy about that. But here we are at that period where, you know, it's getting dark. 6 o'clock, it's getting dark in the evening. 6 o'clock in the morning, it is not light. A lot of darkness. And I think this is the time, the thinning of the veil. You know, a lot of the other side, they like to participate in things toward the end of this month. And it's just their time of the year. But I don't know, I think some things are changing. I see some gotta wave at everybody, you know. That's where I live, you know, you wave at everybody when you go by. Hey, how you doing, you know? But way off track here. But no, I think some things are happening. I feel the crypto market's starting to move up. Silver's starting to move up. I think, you know, everything that's been held back is going to start revealing itself. And this seems to be the month. It's interesting that October 28th, I think it was October 28th, 2017, we first heard from those posts, you know, on that message board. And we're coming up on a 4-year anniversary of that. We've got a government that is trying to figure out how to create a budget. Now we're down to, we're only 2 trillion now is the expectation. Hey, we were going to do 3.5 trillion, but that didn't go. Now we'll try 2 trillion, and it may just keep on going down to where they don't pass anything, and they completely handicap the system, which well, that is an old truck. Litecoin and Lisa would love that truck. Man, that's an old one. So many distractions today. But we're getting to that point where I think some truth is going to start to reveal itself. You know, the economic system, it's been kind of sputtered around. And, you know, what I was going to say is, you know, those countries that are on the reserve standard, you know, the global reserve currencies, they don't last that long. And the U.S. is overextended. When you have fiat money that you create out of nothing, it's really a Ponzi scheme. And at some point, that Ponzi scheme has to implode because it's debt-based. And as a reserve currency, now you think about what a reserve currency is. A reserve currency is something that you should be able to put your reserve energy in, because that's all money should do, holds your energy. But you put that reserve energy into that currency, and it should hold value. That's why it's the reserve currency. You know, it's trusted, it's dependable, it's reliable. It should be something that is valuable, that holds value around the world. Away with the mailman. So, is that the case? No, that's not the case, because people are looking at the dollar and they're saying, oh man, you know, it's getting frittered away. Everything I buy costs more money. Everything I buy costs more money. Nothing's getting cheaper. It's just not. You saw houses run up, and I think that bubble's rolled over. Get the mail. Oh, look. Target ad. Christmas. So, everything's costing more money. Because when you create more dollars, it has to go into something. When you create more money, it goes into something that drives the price up in the terms of that currency. And that's where we're at. We're kind of at the end game, to where the only thing that can be done at this point is, well, we're just going to print and create till infinity and run that engine so hot until it blows up. Or they just say, you know what? It doesn't even matter anymore. Just basically pull the plug. You know, don't pass a budget. Just let it go and let it implode and see what happens. I don't know which way it's going to go. It really doesn't matter, because it is going to go. Now, it may be a transition into crypto. Hopefully that's the case. And if that's the case, then you might want to be in crypto. And not just any crypto. Let's see, there's 10,000 cryptocurrencies out there. There's only a few of them that I think that are really trustworthy, that are worthy to store your energy. Now, there are a lot of the dark to light here, look at this. There are a lot of them that, can make you rewards, let's call it that. Yield some, dollar bills, some currency. But again, the whole point is you need more dollar bills to buy things. So you can try to, outrun the inflation game and get as many dollars as you can. And so you get into coins and that will run up and return more dollars. Thing is, though, you don't want to be sitting in dollars. You got to put it in something else. And if we're going to a crypto-based economy, a digital-based economy, you need to be rolling that stuff into the coins that are going to hold the value, your Bitcoin and your Litecoin, and Ethereum to an extent, I'm just not a big proponent of it because it's really not digital money. Bitcoin and Litecoin they're just built that way. That's just what they do. They're just like gold and silver. So they're going to hold that value. They're going to be a good reserve energy form, that battery that holds your energy, throughout time. And so, yeah, you can make money on these other cryptocurrencies, but the point is, are those the ones you want to be holding when we transition or crash into a new system? It's about tangible things. See, I come from a place where everything's tangible. Everything, see the clouds, the grass, and all this stuff is real. There's nothing artificial. There's always artificial things, but it's pretty real where I live. So there's no artificiality. And as I get hit by a semi when I'm trying to get to my house, but that's a real deal right there. But everything around here, you see crops go out of the ground, you put a seed in, you watch it grow, and then it comes to harvest time, and then you can take it out, and then you've got food. You see that cycle. You see that cycle of nature that gets you, I don't know, there's just something about being in touch with nature and realizing what it is. And being a part of that. When you live in a city, you don't see that natural progression of things. You don't see that natural growth. You see artificial growth wherever you're at. You have concrete buildings, the concrete jungle. You have all of these places that aren't real and connected to nature. And I've always believed that, if you want to find God, you look to nature. Because then you see all the natural processes that were created by this universe. And it's like being in touch with God in a spiritual way. That's how you do it. And that's how I've always believed. And so when you look at these natural things, it gives you a different mindset, the reality of things. And so coming from that background, I realize what's real and what has value. And so when you extrapolate that over to the digital world, what has value in the digital world? Well, you see something that actually took some work to create, Bitcoin and Litecoin, because of the mining process. And then it's not just the mining process, because you could create a mining coin, but it's the time that's gone into it. So every block that has been mined since day one, take Litecoin, every block that's been mined since day one, October of 2011, there's a continuous chain of blocks of transactions that have been mined for 10 years. That's something that, how do you replicate that? Well, it's going to have to, another blockchain is going to have to come along today and run for 10 years to do that and be successful and not stop running and not have issues. It's good luck replicating that at this point. It's going to be so difficult to do that. And so an appreciation for that, I have an appreciation for that and realize how important that is in the digital world. That is like, mining in the real world or farming in the real world, where you have to put the work into the field. You have to plant the seeds. You have to nourish it. And in this case, people fertilize it, but or weed it, in the old school way. You have to do things to make sure that it continues to grow. And, you do something wrong and it doesn't work anymore, and then you've broken that cycle. Just in cryptocurrency, it's the same way. If you don't do something right, you've broken that cycle. So you put a system in place that works. And you continue to do that year after year after year, and you yield rewards. But it's not something that happens overnight. You have to have the infrastructure, and you might have a big tractor, you might have to have, ox, to pull the till. But it's, you know, it requires some sort of work to produce that yield. And there's, you know, it's just, I might not be using the best analogy, but in the digital world, I look at those things that have worked, truly worked. And for 10 years, you've got Litecoin running. And Bitcoin started in 2009, you know, so a couple of years before that. They had to redo the blockchain, restart the blockchain at one point, so it's not a continuous blockchain. But Litecoin is. It's a continuous blockchain. It's never stopped running for over 10 years now. So that's a very powerful thing. And so when you're looking at the reserve status of the US dollar, it's not going to be the reserve anymore because you have countries that are now looking at other means. Are they going to go on a gold standard, an oil standard, a Bitcoin standard like El Salvador? You know, that's a national currency. It's a legit currency for that government of El Salvador. So you see other countries at the perimeter, the satellite nations, starting to say, okay, we've got to do something about this dollar, that we can't depend on trading on that anymore, because for so long the dollar was everything. That was the standard. You based everything in the price of dollars. And now it's becoming, well, you know, we're going to price it in Bitcoin. And you're going to see more and more of that. You know, that will become the standard. Well, how much is it in Bitcoin? Now, it takes a while. It'll take years to do that, but that mindset will start to shift. So right now, you'll look at Litecoin and say, oh, it was $188 yesterday. Now it's $192. I mean, that's how we gauge things right now because we're so ingrained with that dollar standard. And that'll be around for a while, even as it dies. But at some point, it will flip and say, when the demand for these cryptocurrencies that are legitimate, that are in scarce supply, that you're going to have a hard time getting on an exchange because, oh, you saw Bank of America the other day. Lisa and yesterday on the show, Lisa and seriously, the grief goddess. Why is their name slipping me? But they were talking about it. And a letter had come in the mail from Bank of America, and it said that your transactions, Amy Fulmer. What is wrong with me? Amy Fulmer. Gosh, sorry, Amy. But a statement or a letter had come in the mail, or I think it was email, come in the email, and it said that ACH transactions, you know, the bank transactions, like the Fed handles it, but those transactions were limited to $1,000 a day. I think it was a day. Man, maybe it was a week. But you're limited to $1,000 transaction. Okay. How are you going to buy Bitcoin with that? You're going to get a fraction of a Bitcoin. Let's say you've got, you know, $10,000 sitting in the bank and you want to make a purchase of crypto. How are you going to do it? Well, now you're just trickled into the system. See, I've always said they're going to gateway this thing. So if you're not in crypto now, it's going to get harder and harder to get into cryptocurrency because the scarcity factor is going to kick in. You are going to have gateways that say you can only get this much. You can only withdraw this much. You can only move this much. Oh, you can get it, but you're only going to be able to get this much. And at some point, $1,000 worth of crypto is not going to get you much at all. Right now, it's a steal. You can get, over 5 Litecoin. Soon, you'll be able to get 1 Litecoin. And then you'll be able to get a quarter of a Litecoin. That's just what's going to happen. And they know it's going to happen. And they're going to control you. And they're going to make sure that, I guess maybe I'm answering my question. If all the banks do that, they're going to have that slow trickle, that transition into the digital system at their pace. Because imagine if everybody woke up one day and said, I'm getting into crypto, and it was unlimited. You could dump all your money, all your 401ks, you know, all your IRAs, everything into cryptocurrency. You imagine trillions of dollars coming into the crypto market? What that would do, and it would feed on itself because more money would come into it, and it could just be a feeding frenzy. So maybe this is their way of controlling that process. And again, I remember talking about it in 2018 at the first Litecoin Summit that they're gonna allow you to be in it because there's still question, you know, is the government going to allow us to get into cryptocurrency? What are they going to do? Are they going to clamp down at some point? Well, they ban it. They can't ban it. And at the time, my thinking was they're going to gateway it. They'll let you in it, but they're going to do it at their own pace. And I kind of start seeing that now. It's starting to come to fruition, and I think that's still going to be the plan. You can come into it, but it's going to be at your own at their pace. So it's just, a lot of rambling today, but the whole point is you've got a dollar that's collapsing and you've got money in that system. You've got your energy stored in that system. It's not a good form of storage. It's like, trying to store it in a corroded battery. How much are you going to get in there? How long is that going to last? You want the double copper top super premium battery, the one that is never going to lose any kind of energy. It's locked up. And so, you don't put it in something that's robbing you of your wealth. And that's what it is. It's robbing you of your energy. It's leaking. It's a battery that's leaking out. Every time you put money into it, it's like, well, it just keeps leaking out. There's less in there. You got to keep charging it, and the gauge keeps going down. That's why you put it in crypto, and it's like, wait a minute. It keeps going up, and it's always full. Now it's overflowing, and now I got to get another battery to put it into because I just got so much. It just keeps going. I keep winning. I can't take the winning. But cryptocurrency is going to be that sponge that soaks up the trillions of dollars that are out there. It's just going to. And silver and gold are going to get their share too. Absolutely. Those are physical things. Those are things that hold value, and it takes a lot of work to get to it. And especially silver, it's one of those things where there's not that much out there. It's not easy to get. It's usually a byproduct like copper mining or something. There are very few pure silver mines out there. So it's a valuable thing. A lot of it gets used up. So unlike gold, that nobody ever gets rid of it. But as we transition out of this system, as we get into a new system, I see more and more people waking up, which is encouraging. I go to these meetups. There's one in New Jersey. Met some people, and they get it. They understand. Every meetup I've gone to, there's been someone. It's who is near retirement age, or at retirement age, who wants to get out of that system because they're afraid of losing everything they worked for their whole lives. And cryptocurrency is an answer. It's their answer. And I think it's an answer for a lot of people. It's something to really look into. And there are places out there that will help you if you've got a traditional IRA to roll into one that you have in your own custody where you you hold the crypto. You have the keys. And that way it's outside of their system, and any crap that they try to do to you and gateway you from getting your own money. So it's a, and you can go, Perpetual Assets. If you go to Perpetual Assets, that's a good company that can help you roll your IRA into your own possession. They'll take care of all the legwork for you. I have them linked on my website, clintwestwood.net. And if you go to the Happy Hour 2021 Roadshow link at the top, you will see a link to them. Click through on that. That's like when Lisa's referral link. That'll get you the best deal, and actually it helps support her. So if you're going to look at Perpetual Assets, please do that. Click through on hers. And she has it too, but it's, I keep it on my website, clintwestwood.net. Anything I have on my website, there are referral links. It doesn't cost you any more money to use those, but it does help support me or Lisa in our endeavor to spread the message of crypto. And that's why we go on the road once a month, to help people, to allay those fears that some people may have, to inspire people, and validate people for who they are. Because, there's so many people we meet and they're thinking this, and there's nobody around them who think about crypto. They can't even talk to anybody about it. They know they're right inside, but the people around them are just, they think they're crazy, and they're mean about it sometimes. And it's good to validate those people, because there's no doubt in my mind, again, I'm a guy that's used to things that are real, things that come out of the earth. The green grass and the trees growing and the leaves blowing. It's, and I'm in the digital world. I've learned how important it is to be in those correct digital assets in this new upcoming digital world. Ones you can control, not ones that the government issues, not ones that, flaky companies issue out of nothing. No, sound assets that have proven the test of time. That's why I always harp on Litecoin. Litecoin. It is sound money for the digital age, and there's no doubt in my mind about that. And this is somebody who likes to have things in his hand. I just get it. and you can have control of it. So, I mean, if you're using links, you know, anything like that, any of the links that we use, Monarch Wallet, I mean, link on my website, ChangeAngel, a link on my website, click through on that. I mean, if you want to swap cryptos, you know, if you've got some cryptos, you want to, you know, trade Litecoin for Digibyte or vice versa, or for Bitcoin or whatever it is, they've got almost 100 cryptos you can swap into, just to kind of get where you want to be going into this transition and in this, this dark delight moment that we're in. So we've got a meetup coming in November 19th and 20th in Peoria, Illinois. The details, again, are on my website, clintwestwood.net. Litecoin Lisa and I, we're going to be doing Happy Hour Live. We do it every Friday. I don't think I'm going to be able to make this Friday because I'm going to go to a football game. So we might not be doing Happy Hour Friday, but I'll probably be on with her today. And maybe tomorrow with Johnny Litecoin. Might want to do that for a little bit. Thank him for the New Jersey meetup and all the things he did to make that a success. Another crypto warrior right there, a light warrior, Johnny Litecoin. Good dude. Jumping Johnny Litecoin. So I want to see all of you, and I hope if you're interested in cryptocurrency, you come to the November meetup in Peoria, Illinois. It's my area. It's where I live. Close to that. That's going to be a good time. Love to meet all of you. Just sit around and chat, and I'll have plenty of time. I'll be there all night. And so, yeah, it'll be a good time. The crypto class the next day on Saturday, you know, anybody that's got questions about crypto, get there. Get there. That's what we do. We answer questions and try and help people through this transition as best we can. In Florida, we're going to be in Florida in December. That'll be a good time too. So you know, as we go through this, the main thing is don't listen to all the cacophonous voices out there chirping and barking and telling you you're wrong. Don't let self-doubt because of other people stop you from doing what you think is right. If you believe in this cryptocurrency thing, if you believe in anything, and you believe it in your heart, and you think it's the right thing to do, and you have this knowing that if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it. If you have that feeling, stop listening to everybody else and do it. You're the only one that has to suffer the consequences if you're wrong, typically. But, I mean, it's your life. It's your path. It's your soul path. I mean, you're here for a reason. Fulfill that destiny. That's really what it comes down to. Time is precious on this earth. We are eternal beings, but the mission we have on this earth, time is of the essence at this point. Tick-tock. It's coming. Be ready. Trust yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you were born for this time. You have to know that we're here right now. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to me ramble, and I hope you can make one of these meetups. ClintWestwood.net, all the details. All right, love you all. Have a wonderful day.